My girlfriend called me insecure, then started texting her ex to prove she did nothing wrong. For 2 years, my girlfriend acted like the judge of every relationship around us. If someone checked a partner's phone, she'd lecture for an hour about trust. If a guy texted his ex, she'd say, "Dump him, no second chances." I liked that at first, because I thought we were on the same page. Then a month ago, a coworker added me on Instagram. She's 50 and posts her grandkids. My girlfriend saw the notification and said I shouldn't accept it. I laughed, thinking she was joking. She wasn't. Last week, her coworker Jamie liked 3 of her gym photos in a row. We were on the couch watching TV and I teased her, "Looks like you've got a fan." I didn't care. I was just messing around. She snapped like I'd accused her of something serious. She said I was controlling, that men and women can be just friends, and that I was insecure for even bringing it up. I told her I never said it was wrong. I was only joking. She kept talking anyway, listing rules like she was giving a speech. I reminded her how she called my friend's girlfriend disrespectful for following her ex online. She said that was different. I asked how it was different. She couldn't explain it. She just got louder. I finally said, "You're being a hypocrite. You have one set of rules for everyone else and a softer set for you." She stood up fast and said, "Fine, I'll prove it. I can have male friends and it means nothing. You're the one with the problem." I shrugged and said, "Okay, do what you need to tell yourself." I thought the fight was over, but after that she was glued to her phone. If I walked into the room, she'd tilt the screen away. If I asked what was funny, she'd say, "Nothing," and keep typing. At dinner, she'd smile at her phone, then look up like she got caught. The next day, she took her phone into the bathroom, which she never used to do. 2 days later, she said, "Can we talk?" She looked weirdly excited, like she had a surprise. She sat next to me, opened her messages, and started scrolling with a proud smile. "See?" she said. "This is what I mean." She had reconnected with her college ex, the one she dated for 3 years. There were long chats, inside jokes, good morning texts, and late night talks about their day. She said, "We're just catching up as friends. It doesn't mean anything. This proves you were wrong about Jamie." I asked, "When did you start talking?" She said, "Recently," like it was no big deal. I held out my hand and asked to see the phone. She paused, then handed it over like she was doing me a favor. I scrolled up to the first message. It started the day after our argument, right after I called her a hypocrite. My chest got hot. I kept reading. He wrote, "Honestly, I've been thinking about you a lot. I miss you in my life." She replied with a heart emoji and, "I miss you too. Can't believe it took us this long." A few lines later, he asked, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we stayed together?" She answered, "Yeah, sometimes." I looked up at her and she saw my face change. Her smile dropped. She started talking fast, like she could talk her way out of it. "That's normal," she said. "Old friends talk like that. You're reading it wrong." I asked, "Did you tell him you have a boyfriend?" She said, "It didn't come up naturally." That made it worse. I scrolled through 5 straight days of messages. She never once mentioned me. She was talking like she was single, like our life didn't exist. I handed the phone back and said, "So your big proof is texting your ex every day and acting like I'm not here?" She said I was twisting it and being jealous. She said, "I'm proving a point. You made it weird, not me." I stood up and grabbed my keys from the table. She jumped up too and followed me to the door. "Where are you going?" she asked. I said, "I need space to think." She stepped in front of the door and said I was overreacting, that she did this on purpose to show me I was wrong, and that it was just talking. I said, "You're right. You did prove something." She started to relax like she'd won. Then I said, "You proved you'll cross the line with your ex just to win an argument." Her eyes filled and she reached for my arm. I pulled away. She said, "I didn't do anything. It was harmless." I said, "If I messaged my ex every night, sent heart emojis, and told her I missed her, would you call that harmless?" She went quiet, staring at the floor. I said, "That's what I thought." She started crying and said I was being cruel and that she loved me. I said, "The cruel part was you judging everyone else for 2 years." I said, "Then the second you got called out, you did the same thing." She tried to say it was a misunderstanding again, but I didn't let her spin it. I opened the door and said, "We're done. I'm not dating someone who changes the rules when it's convenient." I walked out while she stood there crying, and the door shut behind me. Now my friends are saying I overreacted by leaving. Was I wrong?